everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Loves Nails. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I upload new videos 1 to 3 times every single week. So today's video is for the August polish pickup. I have quite a few things to share with you all today, so I'm going to make sure that the intro is very short because I have a feeling I'm going to yabber on towards the end of the video. As always, I have timestamps in the description box as well. If I remember, I will pin a comment with timestamps as well. But always check the description box. I always include timestamps for all of my videos. So yes, I have quite a few new brands. I have quite a few new to me type of products. Yeah, let's just get into this video. First up, we have Alter Ego with Serpentine. Serpentine is inspired by the song Serpentine Fire by Earth, Wind & Fire, and it's described as a yellow solar polish that changes to a red/orange. It's priced at $10 for 17 ml and has a cap of 50 bottles. Serpentine had a good formula. It was pretty thin, so definitely keep an eye on the stem of your brush when you're polishing this one. It will run down the stem a bit if you're not careful. I also found that it applied pretty patchy. I did notice that if you apply it very carefully by floating the brush on, you will have less of like a patchy end product, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it sounds bad, like it wasn't like terrible, but it was just a little bit more uneven than I really would have wanted. I did really like this polish. I like these sunshiny yellows. I tend to be a lot more forgiving on patchiness from yellows and whites. I tend to forgive a lot of patchiness and just kind of move on. But this polish is pretty sheer, so you could use a visible nail line blurring base coat. I will have a swatch photo showing that one. And here you can see it with me bringing it outside. So this was midday sun. I think it was around like 12 for 1-ish. So I was getting this beautiful orangey shade. How deep of a color you see in person is going to be highly dependent on your UV light source. Nothing in here will dry down texture or be difficult to remove, and I did not experience any staining. So forgive me, I was not quite sure how to showcase this, so I'm just going to show you all how I'm adjusting it for my various fingers. So this one is an adjustable ring by a Bead Apart Jewelry, and it's called Maiden Voyage. It's inspired by water. It's described as an adjustable sterling silver ring that starts off at a size 6. It can also be worn as a midi ring. The bezel is 3 mm, and it's filled with a Kathleen & Co. polish called Rock You Like a Hurricane, and it's topped with a resin. This will be $15 and has a cap of 85 rings. So my ring finger on my left hand is a size 6, and this fit that finger perfectly. However, since I do wear my wedding ring on that finger, I decided to try this on my other fingers. Personally, I really like this one as a thumb ring. I really liked it that way, but you can definitely wear this on pretty much any finger. I have been wearing this ring on and off for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now, and I have not had any issues with my finger turning green or anything like that. This is really pretty. Also, the maker had a really beautiful story on the inspiration behind this ring. I will have the full thing up on my blog post. It's a bit too long to read for the video here. Next up, we have Babygirl Lacquer with Water on Mars 2.0. This one is described as a beautiful teal green / blue polish with a huge assortment of flakies, as well as a touch of hollow and iridescent blue to purple to violet shimmer. At the time of recording, I do not have inspiration, a price, or a cap for this polish. Definitely check the Polish Pickup website for all of that information. This polish had a great formula. It applied very much like a jelly, so it starts off pretty sheer, but it builds up very nicely. The flakies all spread out evenly and easily on their own. I don't need to do anything special to get nice coverage. So I feel like it's leaning a little minty here in the live swatch. I feel my swatch photos are more color accurate than it's showing up here in the live swatch portion. So the shimmer in this polish isn't super obviously color shifty in person. It just looks like a bluish purple type of color. It is visible. It's not super duper strong, but it is a strong shimmer, if that makes any sense at all. To get the most opacity, I think this will be a solid 3-coater. I had like hints of visible nail line, but I don't think it'll be super obvious on natural nails. No issues on removal and no texture either. Hi, editing Nicole. This is going to be one of two things of me editing because I apparently have very bad luck. So anyway, Babygirl Lacquer is also bringing their really awesome peel-off base coat for polish pickup this month. So this one was also sent to me in PR. This was my first time trying this one. I have been recommended this one many, many times by many people, and it definitely lives up to the hype. I was very happy that it did live up to the hype. I expected it to, based on the people who told me about it, but I was just glad to test it out for myself. So, Babygirl Lacquer does recommend doing 2 coats of this for best results. I tried it out with 1 coat as well as 2. You get the best peel in 2 coats, like you get like a full nail peely in 2 coats. If you do 1 coat, you will have a bit of a harder time peeling it off. It will come off, but it will be a little bit more difficult. So this is water-based, so you're going to want to go in for very thin coats, so you're going to be waiting for it to dry for quite a while. Ask me how I know that one. So in thin coats, on me, it took about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on humidity in the room, for how long it would take to dry. I tested it on my thumbnail, which is significantly shorter than my other nails, and this on my thumb, it dried about 2 to 3 minutes per coat, which is really good. So I ended up swatching this one over a new to me Chirality from my NeVerMind Polish that I purchased, and it works surprisingly well because I totally forgot and I capped my tips. And if you wear peel off base coats, you know capping your tips is a big no-no because it'll make things pop off. So I did that. I totally forgot. And I got really good wear time. I don't get to wear things for very long anymore these days because I swatch so much. However, I did 2 coats of this, 3 coats of the my NeVerMind Polish, and then 2 coats of top coat to smooth it out. And I was able to wash my hands multiple times while I was cooking dinner. I cleaned litter boxes. I took a shower. I did not lose a single peely. That is pretty much unheard of for me because I usually pop peelies very quickly. This was really, really fantastic, and it definitely lives up to the hype. I would definitely recommend it. Babygirl Lacquer says this one is good for swatching. For me personally, when I'm swatching, I don't wear anything for more than, like, if I have it on for 45 minutes, that's a long swatch for me. So I don't really recommend it for quick swatching. If you're swatching and you're going to be wearing it for multiple hours, then this would be great for that. But if you're doing like super quick swatching where you're putting it on photos off like super fast, I wouldn't recommend it. I found it I had a hard time peeling it off when I only had it on for a few minutes. So I wouldn't recommend it for that. But if you were a little bit slower at swatching, if you're swatching for hours, then this would be good. Yeah, so this, I really, really liked it. I thought it was really fantastic. I plan on using this more in the future. It was just all around great. Next up, we have BCB Lacquers with Petal Dance. This one is inspired by Bulbasaur from Pokemon and is described as a light pink polish with a strong green shifting shimmer. You can also pick up hints of blue and gold as well at some angles. It's priced at $13 for 16.5 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. Petal Dance had a great formula. It didn't feel overly thick or thin, and I did not have any application issues. This polish is also very opaque. If you have seen some of my reviews this past month of other BCB Lacquers polishes that have like a strong shimmer effect, they're all very opaque. I think this one is not quite a 1 coater, but I think pretty much everyone will be good in 2 coats. I had a little bit of transparency on my tips because my nails are clear, so I went in for 3 coats. In person, I was seeing mostly a greenish gold in the shimmer. This has an almost metallic look to it, by the way. And I was kind of seeing like a hint of blue at extreme angles, but it wasn't the dominant color shift. Nothing in here dried down textured or will be overly difficult to remove. Next up, we have Bee's Knees Lacquer with Fine Make Me Your Villain. This one is inspired by General Kerrigan from Shadow and Bone and is described as a blackened indigo with a glowy orange to green shimmer. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. This had a great jelly-like formula. It starts off pretty sheer, but it builds up in opacity very quickly. But to get the color that you see in the bottle, you're probably going to want to go in for 3 coats. You can see here in 2 coats, you get an amazing amount of shimmer, but it's not quite as dark as the other nails. This polish is so color shifty. I was definitely seeing more than just two colors in here. I was definitely seeing a red, I was definitely seeing a goldish orange, and then I was seeing the green, and then the dark indigo base was giving it like a bluish, purplish, kind of deepened. It was just amazing. I'll just say it that way. It was amazing. So no brush strokes for the shimmer. All you get is this color shifty goodness. No issues on removal and no staining. Next up, we have Cameo Colors Lacquers with Mystic Waters. This one is inspired by the bioluminescence in bodies of water, and it's described as a soothing, dusty mauve full of scattered hollow sparkle with a teal to navy to violet UCC flakies, blue metallic microflakes, and silver hollow microflakes. It's priced at $11.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 105 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula. The flakies all spread out evenly and easily on their own without needing to do anything special. As you can see here, I got quite a few of the larger flakies on my nails, but they did not dry down textured at all. I found that the dusty mauve base leans just a little bit more lavender purpley in my opinion, and this polish is also extremely holographic. You get pretty good coverage in 2 coats. I think if you go in for thick coats, you can definitely get away with 2 if you have shorter nails. Longer nails will want to go in for 3. And you can see that strong shimmer and that bright holographic in this polish. This polish has everything in it and it is so beautiful. So like I said, nothing in here dried down textured or will be overly difficult to remove, and I did not experience any staining. Next up, we have Chirality Polish with Ice KV. Okay, that last part wasn't in there, but I had to add it. This polish is inspired by ice caves and is described as a sparkling denim polish with an intense cobalt blue / electric indigo violet green gold shift. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a good formula. It was on the thicker side, but I didn't have any application issues. I will note that this one does not like being overworked, so be mindful on the number of times you go over the area. On the first coat, you kind of saw how I was really just kind of overworking it, and the brush started picking up what I had already put down, so just be mindful of that. So this wasn't in the description, but I was also seeing like a fleck or maybe like some type of flaky in this polish. I wasn't seeing most of the described colors in the shift though. I was only seeing like a blue to a purple, maybe a hint of green at extreme angles, but definitely this was just mostly blue and purple on me. So shorter nails might be good in 2 coats. I used 3 coats for my photos. I did not have any issues with staining, but if blues tend to stain you, definitely wear a base coat. Next up, we have Color Spectrum Polish with Planeteer's Power Rings. This one is inspired by Captain Planet's Power Rings, and it's described as a gold shimmer with a silver linear holographic along with green hollow squares, red hollow hearts, and hollow star glitters. It's priced at $11 for 13 ml and has a cap of 115 bottles. This was probably one of the polishes that I was most excited to see as I was reading the description for, because I love the show. So this polish had a great formula. It didn't feel overly thick or thin. The larger glitters do seem to settle in the bottle, so I would highly recommend holding the bottle upside down between coats, and also kind of swishing the bottle or the brush around in the bottle to really make sure you get all the glitters that you want on the brush before you start polishing. This one is obviously very sheer. You can definitely use it as a topper, as you can see here. So I personally like it as is. I did find myself doing a little bit of glitter placement just because I never can help myself with these kind of polishes, but that's definitely not necessary at all. So this will dry down textured, especially where the hearts and star glitters are. So I'd recommend using 2 coats of top coat for a perfectly smooth finish. Removal will be on the tricky side. Definitely soak this one off. Color Spectrum Polish will also have a lip balm. In case you don't know how to apply a lip balm, here you go. So the fragrance for this one is described as a creamy chocolate with fluffy marshmallows and graham crackers. It also has teeny tiny flecks of copper glitter. I don't really ever see the glitter on my lips with Color Spectrum lip balms, and I use these all the time. I really enjoy these. I keep them all over my house. For this month's fragrance, it definitely smells like a creamy chocolatey scent to me. The fragrance also doesn't linger super long, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. I also like to wear this underneath of like liquid lipsticks and lip glosses. Next up, we have a new to me brand called Crystal Knockout. This one is called Offerings of Earth. It's inspired by agriculture and described as a light mint green crelly with copper shimmer, micro glitters, micro flakies, and metallic chameleon flakies. It's priced at $11 for 15 ml and has no cap. Offerings of Earth had a great crelly formula. It didn't feel overly thick or thin, and I did not have any application issues. I really loved how the flakies and the shimmer and the little glitters paired with this base. It looks so pretty. This does seem to dry down a bit more sheer than it applies. I had pretty good coverage in 2 coats, but I noticed as it dried it looked a bit more sheer. So I went in for 3 coats for this polish, and that gave me full opacity. I will note that this one, depending on lighting, it will lean more blue toned. I feel like natural lighting, it was looking a lot more tealish, but in my indoor lighting inside of my house, it was definitely like a light minty shade. Nothing in here dried down textured or will be overly difficult to remove. Next up, we have Cupcake Polish with Hydro Pump. This is another new to the channel brand. Hydro Pump was inspired by Squirtle! Sorry, the Pokemon Squirtle, and it's described as a medium teal leaning blue polish packed with a blue-green iridescent flaky and matching blue-green gold iridescent shimmer. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a great jelly formula. You will want to build it up for full opacity. The flakies in this give it an almost metallic look on the nail, and I found the shimmer to be a little bit subtle, but it blends in nicely with the flakies. The flakies are definitely the star of the show for this polish. The base is almost aqua in color. Like the previous polish, lighting is going to play a big part on what color you will see in person. This had pretty good coverage in 2 coats. If you don't have much of a free edge, you can definitely get away with 2 thicker coats. I used 3 coats for my photos. I did not have any issues with it drying down textured, removal, or any problems with staining. Next up, we have Fancy Gloss with another one of their fabulous thermals. This one is described as a thermal that is red when cold to a whitish when warm with lots of small red metallic flakies. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has a cap of 350 bottles. Don't Play with Fire had a great formula. I didn't have any formula or application issues with this polish. The polish started transitioning on me right away. The cold state is a warmer toned red without seeming orangey, and the warm state is a very, very pale white that is very close to being clear. So you will have some very obvious visible nail line in the warm state. In the cold state, you will have full opacity. The flakies do not dry down textured at all, and they will not be too difficult to remove. I use 3 coats here for the live swatch as well as 3 coats for my swatch photos. I found that the 3rd coat did deepen the cold state color just a tiny bit. So if you want that nice deep red you see in the bottle, you will want to go in for 3 coats. Next up, we have Glisten Glow with Night at Red Rocks. This one is inspired by a concert venue called the Red Rocks Amphitheater located in Morrison, Colorado. This polish is described as a rich burgundy jelly polish loaded with a red, orange, pink, gold, green iridescent flakies with hollow microflakes and a touch of hollow magic. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. So I want to say I'm having a bit of a fangirl moment that I have a polish from Glisten Glow to share with you all. Like, I love this brand. So yeah, very excited about this one. This polish had a great formula, no surprise there. It felt slightly on the thinner side than I was expecting for a polish that has so many flakies in it, but I have noticed that this brand does a really great job at having thinner consistency polishes without being watery, and on top of that still having a ton of components in it. But you will want to build this one up in 3 coats. You get pretty good coverage in 2, but for full opacity you will want to go in for 3 coats. No issues on removal, and there will be no texture. I used 1 coat of the Glisten Glow top coat to completely smooth this polish out and give it a nice shine. And speaking of the Glisten Glow top coat, Glisten Glow will also have their top coat available this month. So I am showing this one over Night at the Red Rocks. I have the Glisten Glow matte top coat on top of that polish, and I am showing just how glossy this top coat is once you apply it. So the top coat will be $7.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. This is a very fast drying, very glossy top coat. I have previously purchased this one in the past and I really love it. I do find about halfway through the bottle you will want to add some thinner. It does get a little thick, but quick dry top coats tend to do that. This is the type of top coat that if you put it on and then about 20 minutes or so after you apply it, you can put on gloves and wash the dishes and have no problems. Next up we have Heather's Hues, and this one is called My Yellow Flame, She Dances. This one is inspired by the Fire Dancer logo of the Dave Matthews Band and is described as an orange jelly packed with a red to orange to pink to gold shimmer, pink to red to orange iridescent flakies, red to copper to gold metallic flakies, and fire red hollow micro shreds. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has no cap. This polish had a really great formula. I found that the base is like a medium orange, and this screams fall. Like, this is a very fall, Halloween-y appropriate orange polish. The flakies all spread out evenly and easily, and the shimmer gives this a very fiery kind of glow to the nail. Like, I know there's no red, but this still looks like a fire. It's so beautiful in person. I was not really happy with my swatch photos because I thought this one just looked so crazy in person that like photographs were just not doing this one justice. I'm really glad I started doing these live swatches because this polish needs to be seen like moving around. So nothing in here will dry down texture or will be overly difficult to remove. And over black, this is a Halloween polish over black. I don't know what made me swatch over black, but I did and I totally love it. Next up, we have KBShimmer with Lust at Sea. This one is inspired by the sea and is described as a deep purple leaning indigo base with an extremely shifty shimmer. It's priced at $11 for 15 ml and has no cap. Lust at Sea had a great formula. This polish is extremely color shifty. In person, I was seeing pink, gold, a green / teal, and blue, and maybe like a hint of purple. The shimmer does not show brush strokes at all. So I did 3 coats of this polish on my other fingers and 2 coats on the live swatch nail. I kind of spaced and top coated that nail by accident when I meant to do another coat, but I still had pretty good coverage in 2 coats. So I think this one will be a 2 to 3 coater. I did find that the 3rd coat does deepen the color to what you see in the bottle, but you can see from my swatch photos it is a very slight difference. Nothing in here will be difficult to remove, and I did not experience any staining. KBShimmer will also be offering their sugar scrub to polish pickup, and this one is called Farmer's Market. This is inspired by the bounty found at local markets, and it's described as fresh summer scents starts with a melody of fragrant clementine, ripe apple, and sweet lemon. A bouquet of blooming lily, delicate freesia, and soft violet adds fresh floral notes, while a base of musk, amber, and rich vanilla adds a lasting depth pleasing to the senses. It's priced at $10 for 9.5 ounces and has no cap. So it is no secret that I love this scrub. I use it on a weekly basis. I use it all over my body. I use it for manicures. I use it for pedicures. Basically anywhere that I'd want a sugar scrub, I use it. I love this stuff. So this month's fragrance is very fruity with some floral notes, but it's not overly sugary or sweet. I really enjoyed it. Fragrance does not linger, so you can put on your various lotions without feeling like kind of skunky. Get a lot of scrub for a great value. Next up, we have Leesha's Lacquer with 4 Directions. This polish has a really beautiful inspiration that is culturally significant to Leesha, so I am trying my best at pronouncing this. So this one is inspired by the medicine wheel in the 4 directions. So each of the colors represent various stages in life, or in this case, including the 4 elements. And this is culturally significant to the Ojibwe people, which Leesha is a part of. So this one is described as a white-based Chirality with red, black, and yellow glitters. It's priced at $11 and has a cap of 200 bottles. This had a fantastic Chirality formula. You all know I love a glitter Chirality, and this one was phenomenal. So all of the glitters spread out evenly and easily. I did not need to hold the bottle upside down or do anything special to get great coverage. This was a little bit patchy in 2 coats, so I went in for 3. Shorter nails might be able to get away with 2 careful coats, but if you want a lot of glitter, definitely go in for that 3rd coat. Nothing in here actually dried down textured, and I only needed 1 coat of top coat to completely smooth it out. Removal will be on the difficult side due to all the glitters, but I had no issues soaking it off. So, editing Nicole here with Stormy in the background. Forgive the mess that is the nail room. Like, I'm here editing. So, my footage for the Leesha Lacquer polish did not come out like I had wanted it to. So, this is what you're getting. So, basically, I have used that top coat like 3 or 4 times now with no problems whatsoever. However, the footage that I recorded, that's when I had the issues. So basically what had happened was I had done 2 coats of Super Chick Lacquers, REM, which is a black linear holographic. Unfortunately, when I went to add my top coat, the Leesha's Lacquer top coat was pulling up the colored polish and leaving kind of streaks in the final polish. And then on top of that, as it dried, I noticed that the holographic was dulling down. I honestly feel like I spoke this into existence because on Instagram I was just talking about how I've never had a top coat dull on me, like dull a holographic on me, and like a week maybe after I said that, it happens. And so I'm just kind of like, yeah. So anyway, my previous polishes that I swatched this with, I didn't have any problems. It didn't dull the holographic, but I was putting it over flaky polishes. I did not put it over a linear holographic. So I don't know if this is because it's a linear holographic. I don't know if Leesha's Lacquer just doesn't work well with Super Chick Lacquer. I don't know why, but that's just a heads up. So I would recommend the top coat. However, just be careful if you're putting it over a linear holographic. Otherwise, I thought it was really great. I really like the fragrance on it. It smelled really nice. I was hesitant because I didn't think I would like the fragrance too much. But, like, I thought it was really nice. It was very earthy and natural smelling. And the longest I had it on for was about 24 hours. And it was strongest on that first day. And then I went to bed. I woke up the next day. And throughout that day, I could still smell it on my nails if I brought my nails up to my face. But it wasn't as strong as it was the day before, so I do anticipate this one, the fragrance, like, decreasing over time, which is pretty standard for scented top coats. So yeah, let's continue with the video. Thanks for listening. Next up, we have another new to the channel brand. This one is Lucky 13 Lacquer, and this one is Multipass. This polish is inspired by the movie The Fifth Element and is described as a bright orange with lots of red, orange, tangerine / gold shifting shimmer, and this polish glows in the dark. It's priced at $11 for 15 ml and has a cap of 150 to 170 bottles. This polish had a pretty good formula. It was pretty thick on me, but I think that was due to the heat and humidity of my house. It was like 90 degrees and we had 70-something% humidity indoors, so it was kind of rough. So despite this one feeling pretty thick, I did not need to add any thinner to get it to apply. It went on pretty easily, just it was kind of thick. This was my first time trying a polish by this brand, and I actually really enjoyed it despite it being on the thicker side. I love the shade of orange, and the shimmer in it gives you all these different kind of shades of orange, plus the glow-in-the-dark looked really cool. So I charged the glow-in-the-dark aspect up with a UV flashlight. Had a little bit of a tricky time with it, but my flashlight was basically dying, so I'm attributing it to that. I forgot to mention this polish is also very Halloween appropriate. I think this will be a 2-coater on pretty much everyone. I went in for 3 coats as I had a little bit of transparency, but I think pretty much everyone else will be good in 2 coats. You gonna say anything? Hi. Next up, we have LynB Designs with Full of Hot Air. This one is inspired by the element air, and it's described as an indigo-based magnetic polish with a green to blue to purple shifting magnetic pull, hollow micro shimmer, and green to yellow to orange crystal flakies. It's priced at $13 and has no cap. Full of Hot Air had a great formula. It felt slightly on the thicker side, but I did not have any application issues. The magnetic pigment in this is extremely strong, and you almost you don't see too much of the indigo base. You are definitely seeing a extremely strong color shift. I found the magnetic particles in this one change really easily. I used this new magnet that I got from Polish Pickup, and it looks so amazing. So here you can see I magnetized my pointer finger and my ring finger, and then I left my middle finger and my pinky unmagnetized. So you can definitely wear this polish both ways. Personally, I like it with the magnetic effect. I think it looks really amazing. You get pretty good opacity with this one in 2 to 3 coats. I used 3 coats. Nothing in here dried down texture. It will be difficult to remove. Next up, we have Moonflower Polish with Flamboyant. This one is inspired by Flamboyant, also known as the Royal Poinciana trees flower. Sorry, Wayne tried to help me with that, and I didn't get it still. So this one is described as an intense red base with a shimmer that shifts from pink to gold. This one is priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 100 bottles. Flamboyant had a wonderful formula. It felt slightly on the thicker side, but I did not have any issues with application. It being slightly thicker did make this very opaque. I think pretty much everyone will be good in 2 coats. I went in for 3 coats. I had a tiny bit of transparency on my tips, but it was very minimal. For normal wear, I would just wear this in 2 coats. So there was just a tiny bit of brush strokes through the shimmer in this polish. In person for the shimmer, I was seeing a red to a gold type of shift and like a hint of green at extreme angles. I had no issues with staining, but definitely wear a base coat with this polish as it is very pigmented. Next up is My Indie Polish with Here Comes the Sun. This polish was inspired by the Beatles song and is described as a yellow with a hot pink microflaky and glitter. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml. I do not have a cap for this one. This polish had a really great formula, especially for a yellow. It applied very smoothly and streak-free, and I was just very surprised at just how nicely this applied for a yellow polish. The microflakes and glitter spread out evenly and easily and do not dry textured at all. I found that they gave this polish a slightly peachy kind of tone to it. It's looking a little bit lighter in the live swatch. The color here is more color accurate to what I was seeing in person. It's a very peachy kind of yellow polish. So this one is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference. I found the 3rd coat does deepen the color just a smidge. Here is Isabel saying hello. Ignore the mess, please. Nothing in here will dry down texture or be difficult to remove. This is a very unique polish in my opinion. This next polish is by Music City Beauty and it's called Gaia and inspired also by Gaia. This is described as a green jelly with scattered holographic with a gold to green color shifting shimmer and blue to pink aurora pigment. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 100 bottles. Gaia had a really great formula. I really love the base for this. The green base is just really beautiful. I found that the holographic has a nice scattered effect. It's not super strong. I really wish it was a nicer day out so you all can see how this looks like in the sun. Unfortunately, it was very cloudy, so I didn't get to show this with the holographic. I found that the shimmer in this polish gives it a really metallic look on the nail. Mainly, I was seeing that gold to green shift. I wasn't really seeing a blue to pink shimmer in this at all. So this has the potential to be a 1 coater on shorter nails. I think longer nails will want to go in for 2 coats. I went in for 3 just because I had a tiny bit of transparency on my tips. For normal wear, I would definitely wear this one in 2 coats. Next up is NeVerMind Apothecary with I Invoke Thee. This one is inspired by the movie The Craft, and it's described as a deep purple jelly with a violet shimmer and a rainbow of color shifting crystal flakies. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. I Invoke Thee had a really great jelly formula. It applied evenly and easily, and I did not have any issues with the application. The flakies all spread out evenly and easily on their own, and they do lay flat, so this will not dry textured at all. This polish builds up nicely in 3 coats. I feel like it's 90% opaque in 3 coats. I had a teeny tiny bit of visible nail line. The shimmer is on the more subtle side. I feel like the flakies kind of steal the show from the shimmer. So nothing in here will dry textured or will be difficult to remove. I will note that this had a very slight little skunky, funky odor from the flakies. The scent does dissipate as the polish dries, and I only just kind of noticed it. Next up, we have Night Owl Lacquer, which, oh my god. This one is called Magic Itself, and it's inspired by the fire element. It's described as a blackened purple / burgundy to red to copper multichrome, and it's priced at $13 for 15 ml. This polish had a really great formula. It was slightly on the thicker side, but that thickness definitely made it very opaque. I did notice that this polish does not like to be overworked, so definitely just apply it and leave it alone and apply another coat if you messed up somewhere. So I was seeing all of the described colors in person. The multichrome pigment in this does not show brush strokes. I think this one is going to be a solid 2-coater on pretty much everyone. I actually did 3 coats on my other nails, but I think I was, again, overworking it. So when I was not overworking it, this was a solid 2-coater on me. Paint It Pretty Polish has 2 polishes this month. This one is the topper. This one is described as a topper in a clear base full of shifting shimmer and flakies. Over a black base, you will see shifts of a teal to blue to purple, and the flakies in a pink, orange, yellow, and green. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has a cap of 100 bottles. This polish had a really great formula. I am showing it in 1 coat over my go-to 1 coat black Heather's Hues Shadow, which I will try to remember to link down below. I always forget, sorry. So yeah, I was seeing all of the described colors in person. This polish is extremely color shifty. I thought it looked really amazing. Personally, I didn't love it over the Paint It Pretty polish that's coming to Polish Pickup this month as well. I loved it over black. It was super color shifty, and the flakies, they do not dry textured and just absolutely gorgeous. And here it is over What's Your Element by Paint It Pretty Polish, which I will show swatches of next. I felt like I like the flakies over it, but I feel like the shimmer didn't really add anything to the polish. But again, over black, this was stunning. And now we have Paint It Pretty Polish with What's Your Element. This polish is described as a light purple base with a shifting shimmer that shifts a gold to green to blue. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has a cap of 150 bottles. This polish was mind-blowingly beautiful in person. So great formula, didn't feel overly thick or thin, no application issues. The shimmer also does not show any brush strokes, and I was seeing all of the described colors in person. This polish is so beautiful. Like, I cannot stress enough how pretty this polish is. So it is on the sheer side. You will have some visible nail line. 2 thicker coats will give you the same coverage as 3 thin ones. I use 3 thinner coats. This is sheer enough that you can definitely use it as a topper over a variety of colors. I will have a swatch of it over black. This also, as a note, this polish reminded me a lot of BCB Lacquers Doomicorn from June's polish pickup. They are not dupes. I feel like this one is more opaque and a bit more color shifty as well. I will have a comparison up on my blog. Next up, we have Poetry Cowgirl with Heatwave. This one is inspired by weather maps and described as a mango yellow / orange crelly packed with a red to orange to gold shifting shimmer and a green to blue to purple iridescent flaky. It's priced at $13.50 for 15 ml and has a cap. Oh, and has no cap. Heatwave had a great formula. The base is definitely somewhere between an orange and a yellow. This applied very nicely, no issues there. I found the flakies all spread out evenly and easily on their own, and this polish does not feel thick at all despite having so many flakies in it. I had a little bit of unevenness, but I feel like for the most part they evened out with 3 coats. The shimmer is more on the subtle side in like normal lighting. I found that when I was underneath of the light, like here, and in direct sunlight, that's when I could really see the shimmer. For the most part, I was mostly just seeing the flakies. I think this will be a solid 3-coater on pretty much everyone. I did have some slight visible nail line. Nothing here dry down textured, will be difficult to remove, and I did not experience any staining. So a quick demo of a product that I was sent to from the folks over at Polish Pickup. This is a new magnet they will be having available. This is a ring-shaped magnet to be used with magnetic polishes. At the time of recording, I do not have sale information for this product, but it will be available on the Polish Pickup website. I will have a full demo of this magnet up in a separate video. If you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen this clip before, but I was just so in love I had to share. And this is what, like, the finished product. I was using the Polish EDK Mahalo from Polish Pickup Rewind for this swatch. Again, I will have a full demo video linked down below if anyone wants to see it. Just know I loved it. Next up, we have Pretty Beautiful Unlimited with Lighter Than Air. This one is inspired by the Elemental Air Dragon and described as a pale, grayed down lavender crelly base with a blue to purple to pink shifting shimmer, micro hollow flakies, purple and sapphire micro glitters, and a mix of 5 different crystal chameleon flakies. It's priced at $12 for 15 ml and has a cap of $190 for the US and $10 for the UK shop. This polish had a really great formula. It felt slightly on the thicker side, but not overly thick at all, and I did not have any application issues. I love this base paired with the shimmer and the flakies. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So this is on the sheer side. You're definitely going to want to build it up for 3 coats for full opacity. Everything in here dries down pretty smooth, but you will want top coat for a glossy finish. I found that the square shaped glitters do seem to sink a little bit in the bottle, so make sure to give this a really good shake before using it, or even hold the bottle upside down between coats if you want a lot of the larger squares out on your nail. I had very minimal visible nail line at some angles with this polish. Pretty Beautiful Unlimited will also be having a wax melt available this month, and here is a sped up clip of me melting it down. I had so much fun doing this, so yeah. So this, the description for this wax melt is a cleansing ocean air before the storm with hints of mandarin, tangerine, ruby red grapefruit, lemon rinds, and fresh sage leaves. This is a Parasoy wax melt and it's priced at $5 for 2.5 ounces. It has a cap of $45 for the US shop and $5 for the UK. The fragrance on this smells amazing and this has a fantastic throw. This little square that I melted down here, I've had this one going in my nail room for a week now and it still smells fantastic, and that's even with having the air conditioner on for a couple of days. Like, it just, the throw is just phenomenal on this wax melt. I really enjoyed it. The fragrance to me smelled very oceany, and I was also picking up something floral. I was not really getting the fruity notes, but this is a beautiful fresh scent. Next up, we have Eyed Lacquer with Full of Crababilities. This one is inspired by the Cancer zodiac sign, and it's described as an indigo base packed with a strong teal to purple shifting shimmer and hollow micro flakies. It's priced at $12.50 for 13 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. This polish had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin, and applied so nicely. It starts off on the more sheer side, so you're definitely going to want to build this one up for full opacity. It is extremely color shifty in person. I was seeing a teal to a blue to a purple color shift, and the hollow flakies give this a beautiful hollow sparkle. I really wish I had swatched this one during the day so you all can see how it looks in natural lighting. So you will need 3 coats for full opacity for this polish. It could also be used as a topper. I honestly think this would look fantastic over like a navy blue or even black. Nothing in here dry down textured or will be overly difficult to remove. Eyed Lacquer is also bringing Tamesies to the Polish Pickup this month. This month's fragrance is inspired by the ocean and it's a custom blend of sea salt and coconut. It's priced at it's priced at $12 and has a cap of 75 bottles. So I originally reviewed Tamesies back for the June Polish Pickup, and I have still been using this on a weekly basis on my hair. This is a nice light oil. I really like to apply this to my locks after I wash my hair to seal in the moisture. And I also use this during the week on my scalp because my scalp gets very dry. If your scalp tends to be more oily, definitely only wear this one on like your hair strands and not put it on your scalp. You can also use this as a nail oil, as a body oil. It is absolutely amazing. I really love this stuff. It's light and has a very nice fragrance. The fragrance also does not linger, so that is a plus in my book. Next up, we have Sassy Sauce Polish with Whole Lava Love. This one is inspired by a photo of lava pouring down with a beautiful sunset in the background. This is described as a blue tinted jelly base with a strong glowing red gold shift, red micro glitter, ghost flakies, and a hollow flame. It's priced at $12.50 for 15 ml and has a cap of 400 bottles. Whole Lava Love had a great jelly formula and it went on very smoothly. This starts off on the more sheer side, but it builds up for full opacity. I think this could potentially also be used as a topper. The shimmer is very strong, and I was seeing both of the color shifts in person, and the holographic is also extremely strong. Nothing in here will dry down textured at all. This will also be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length. I use 3 coats for my photos. This polish is just really beautiful. Like, I'm just staring at the photos and practically drooling. It's just stunning. Last but certainly not least is Twisting Nether Lacquer with Rain. This one is inspired by Snapple Elements and it's described as a holographic base with different shades of blue glitters in matte, hollow, and metallic finishes. It's priced at $13 for 15 ml and has a cap of 200 bottles. Rain had a fantastic formula. It didn't feel thick at all despite having just so much glitter in it. All the glitters spread out evenly and easily on their own. I did not need to do anything special for good coverage, and I did not need to hold the bottle upside down at all. This polish is more on the sheer side, so you will want to build it up for opacity. There will still be some visible nail line in 3 coats. This polish also can be used as a topper. The holographic base is extremely holographic, and I was really surprised that this did not dry down textured at all. I only used 1 coat of top coat to completely smooth this one out. Removal will be on the tricky side just due to all of those glitters, but I soaked this polish off with no problems. And that is everything. So yes, I have so my current favorites list is currently at 11 items. So I am going to try to whittle down the list as I'm doing this, which is a terrible idea, but I'm going to run with it. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So number 1, we're going with the Bee's Knees Lacquer Polish. I love just how the shimmer played with that base. Bee's Knees always does an amazing job with shimmer polishes. If you have not tried the brand before, definitely pick this one up. So my next top pick that I'm going with is going to be the Color Spectrum Polish, the Captain Planet one. I love that one. So the glitters were a little, not necessarily finicky, like you had to do a bit, well for me, for my nail length. Short nails might have a different polishing experience. But for my nails, I did end up doing quite a bit of glitter placement, even though I try not to do that for videos, but I ended up doing it anyway. So yes, I love that polish just for the glitters as well as the Captain Planet reference. And side note, my husband Wayne, so he's quite a few years older than me, so he did not, so he was already too old for Captain Planet when it was out. So he had never even heard of the show. So I got to explain to him what Captain Planet was, but I didn't have my phone with me, so it involved me singing the Captain Planet, he's our hero. Yeah, I sang the song to him. I did all of the hand gestures to get Captain Planet. It was really bad. He was just and you watch this for fun? And I was like, yes, it was a great show. They were crime fighters and they were planeteers. They were saving the planet. So my next favorite polish is going to be the Heather's Hues polish. That one, I don't usually gravitate towards oranges, but that shimmer, that polish is literally, it's a fiery polish and it just looks so amazing. I was actually really mad at how my swatch photos turned out, so I'm really glad that I have a video because that polish was absolutely amazing. if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me playing around with that polish while holding a knife. Don't even ask. That's what I was doing. So yeah, that polish was really amazing. I'm super glad that Heather went with that polish. I saw some of her prototypes and I'm just really glad she went with that polish. I think my next favorite is going to be the LynB Designs polish. If you don't already know, I am currently on a magnetic polish kick, and LynB Designs has been doing some really fun magnetic polishes. Again, if you follow me over on Instagram, you'll see behind the scenes. Definitely follow me on there. I'll have a link to that down below, but I am at NicoleLoves_nails over on Instagram. Definitely give me a follow. Yeah, so that polish was really gorgeous with and without the magnetic effect. Personally, I liked it with the magnetic effect. I don't know if I would have liked it as much without the magnetic effect, but I thought it looked really amazing. And if you like magnetic polishes, definitely check out the Polish Pickup Ring Magnet. That's another one of my top picks this month. And my next top pick is going to be the Paint It Pretty polish. I really love that color, the color shifty shimmer. You can tell from all my favorites. I love color shifty shimmer. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it was just a really gorgeous polish. It really reminded me of Doom a Corn by BShimmer Lacquer from, I want to say that was May's Polish Pickup. They're not dupes, but they are kind of similar. This one does seem to be a bit more opaque than that BShimmer polish as well, which I also appreciate, but both polishes are really gorgeous. And I think this is going to be my final favorite. So my final favorite is going to be the Pretty Beautiful Unlimited, both the polish as well as the wax melt. I actually have the wax melt right here. Like, I've had this one going all week and it just smells so amazing. And that polish is just so beautiful. Again, we have the shifty shimmer in that light purple base. I love purples, and this one just was so beautiful. Like, it was just really gorgeous. So, I also want to give a little shout out to both the KBShimmer Sugar Scrub and the Red Eyed Lacquer Tamesies. Those are both products that I actually use like on a regular basis, and I always forget to give a shout out, especially the KBShimmer Scrub. But both of those products are actually things I use. You might be able to see behind me over here is actually my bottle of Tamesies that I got in PR from the June polish pickup. So yeah, that is everything. I would love to know, what are you picking up? What's on your wish list? For me personally, I have not yet formulated my wish list. I don't know. I haven't decided. Like, I've just been so into doing swatches that I'm actually missing a lot of posts on what's coming up. So yeah, let me know what you're really excited for so I can go look it up. Yeah, so Polish Pickup opens on August 6th. Again, all the information will be linked down below. I'll also have a link to my blog post on NicoleLoves.com for all my swatch photos. And yeah, I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye!